this video, we're going to be talking about a very anticipated topic. Now, I wasn't going to wait for Scotland to come out to make this video, but I figured we have so much information in this trailer and we can see so much of the new map, remodels, yada yada, that I'm just going to make it right now. Where does Scotland rank among all the maps here in the Hunter Call of the Wild? Judging by the biomes, how wide open it is, how thick the thick parts look, or at least the thickest parts that we can see in the trailer. Talking about the species list, my general opinion on it. And all I'm going to say is this before we dive in here today, guys. This has potential to be, judging by the trailer and how this map looks, one of the best hunting maps in the Hunter Call of the Wild, just for running and gunning. Now obviously, there's going to be different factors that play into that, like how dense the animal population is in X part of the map. Sometimes you'll find more animals on one side of the map than the other. It's just completely random the way that they spawn. But certain maps like Silver Ridge and Ski Ridge, for example, have just extremely dense populations. Like the mule deer lakes are ridiculous on Ski Ridge. The plains bison is insane. The pronghorn in the fields, you know? Without further ado, guys, if you're new to my YouTube channel, welcome. My name is Squid, and wasting no more of your time, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, so just starting off with a still frame of the first actual nice open area that we get to see here in Tornasheen. Now, pre-warning, I am going to be extremely detailed in this video, so if you don't like extremely detailed things, you might just want to skip ahead, because we're going to be breaking down this trailer and making sure that you do not miss a single freaking detail. So right off the bat here, we don't get to see too much. Looks like a very nice hillside. We got some rocky terrain down here, and I believe these are capercaillies, right? Which is a species that they didn't put on the list in the official Discord. But the background's kind of blurred here, so we can't really see very far, but we can see this nice big looking lake down here. Kind of similar to what we'd see in Quattro. See some maybe mountains in the background, some trees on top of them. And what I like to see about this area, in a pattern that we kind of see throughout the trailer, is the terrain is not very dense. There's not a lot of shrubs, big shrubs at least. It's just nice, short grass. And when we do see shrubs, it's like this pink stuff. You'll see it throughout the trailer. Beautiful animation there, the capercaillie, the castles here. And then here we got a really nice shot of the lake. Now if you notice, I think that's a roe deer down there drinking. But the good thing is, look at this. I don't know if you guys are like familiar with maps like Parquet, or maybe you're just joining the game, maps like Hirschfeld, and you walk up to a lake, 99% of the time, you can't see 100 feet to your right, or 100 meters to your right. Now, this is just one lake that we're having a still frame at, but it looks wide open all the way around. Now, odds are render distance is not going to be rendered in over there, probably not on that side either. But the good news is if most of the lakes are like this in this map, with a few exceptions, obviously there's always going to be thicker parts of the map, just how it works with any map. Running around this lake, you know, unless it's like on a super sharp corner here, there might be an animal on the other side. Coming around this corner here is going to be really nice. Because chances are you're going to see the animals before they see you. So that's very sweet. I hope we see this pattern with more lakes. There's another shot of a road here. As you can see, this kind of reminds me of some parts in Quattro, like down by the river in Quattro. And then over here, we got really nice wide open plains. That's something I really like about this map. In the lower parts, you can see it kind of thickens up here. But in the upper parts, like on top of the mountains and whatnot, which is exactly how it is in Scotland, there's like no trees. I can't imagine how good the hunting is going to be up there, guys. I'm so excited for this. Even though we're only getting 5 new species, I'm sure the hunting is going to be great. We got these rock things here. Very nice addition. This cave thing is very beautiful. And then here's another really good shot. I think these are, what were those? I think those are female pheasants. I can't really tell. Yeah, I think so. Either that or they're female red grouse. Anyways, we got another still shot here of, you can see all the way up there, nice and wide open. I'm assuming this is like the edge of an outpost or something. It doesn't seem like it's too far from civilization. You can see a building there. And then here, look at this. That is awesome. Kind of reminds me of some parts of Emerald Coast. Again, just extremely wide open. You can see for legit miles. So incredibly beautiful. We've got the feral goats up here. This looks a little bit thicker down here. You can see some dense forestry there. Looks like we got some dense forestry across those mountains over there on the left. But where the player is standing and where these goats are is very wide open. Interesting. So I have a feeling that everything behind the player is very wide open, and they're kind of just coming to a lower part of the map. That's my guess for this area. I'm just trying to get everything I can out of this trailer. We got a mountain hare and a red grouse. The red grouse kind of on the edge of this hill thing here. Again, decently wide open, but we're seeing more of these shrubs. It's very nice to see the diversity and differences in all the different shrubbery in the maps. Stuff the average player wouldn't even notice makes these maps so detailed. Like, I haven't seen these plants this whole trailer, and it made the scene with this beautiful red grouse here just that much more better. And then we got this beautiful shot of this red deer. This is one of the shots that caught my eye. You know, obviously there's nothing better than that new red deer model, but just look at it, man. This is like mega wide open. There's not a single tree. And I think, yeah, look at that. There's a little red fox standing down there. Wouldn't even have noticed that if I wasn't making this video right now. That's already telling me right there. We got a red deer, and like 100 meters later, we got a red fox. I guarantee you the hunting is going to be like amazing. Seeing lots of animals in close proximity of each other. That is a good sign. And then we got, you know, classic, beautiful EW cinematic here with a brand new red deer model looking absolutely amazing. And as you can see in the background, there's no trees on that hill. I guarantee you this is one of the wide open parts. And man, you could just see for miles. You know, if the sun wasn't setting, if the fog level wasn't super dense, guarantee there's animals on the other side of this thing here. And this is just, I've never seen a map this wide open before. Silver Ridge, yes, comes close in some parts. A Ski Ridge comes close in some parts. But never have I seen a map this wide open. I guarantee you this is going to be one of the best casual hunting maps in the game. And even in this kind of, you know, thicker part here, we got more shrubs over there, some more shrubs here, some rocks, very nicely placed, got some trees coming off the side of the mountain, or this hilly hill thing here. I'm 16, work with me. And look at this, once again, extremely wide open, kind of reminding me of some parts of Cinder Baton. I'm seeing a lot of influences from that map. Except, you know, the mountains aren't 3,000 feet in the air. Some big rocks here, got axis deer, or no, Sika deer laying there. Beautiful Sika deer there. And then here's a still shot. Look at that. That is insane. Now, I thought, like, looking down from the mountains in Cedar Baton were wide open, but I don't know, man. This might be some of the best hunting, and I think it will be. I'm gonna put money on it. Even, you know, relatively close to civilization with these trails. You got a building right there. Might be an outpost or something. Right outside of that, super wide open. Already looks to be amazing hunting. You got a close-up of these new burrows. Beautiful badger feeding there. So it looks like we're going to be hunting them at their feed times, because he definitely wasn't resting. And then you got a thicker part of the map here, which even with that, you know, there's wide chunks in there. Looks like we got a lot of really, really good shooting lanes. This map is almost perfectly developed. And then you got a still shot. This looks like a thicker part of the map. Okay. Looks like we got a river back there. Diamond red deer standing here. And then straight back to the extreme wide open stuff. I love this. See, it almost gives you the illusion like we came out of that woods here, and here we are. I bet that's going to be how it is, kind of similar to places in Cinder Baton. You know, like I said in the first ever video I made on this map, it looks like it's going to be very, very similar to Cinder Baton in the sense of hunting. Crazy wide open parts, which with this map, the wide open parts are just going to be like 10 times more extreme, because, you know, Scotland. And then when you make it into the woods, it's like a jungle. Man, there we go again. It's just constant. Looks like we're going to have a lot of these like ravines here, up and down, up and down. So beautiful though. And then this is what I like to see. This is kind of like some New England mountains influences here. At least that's kind of what I'm thinking. Obviously, when there's one fox, there's always one more because they travel in pairs. So we get to see 2 foxes here. But these trails are some of the most satisfying things to run in the game. If you're looking to just, you know, find a good spot on a map, place you'll go to every time in multiplayer, something like that, pick one of the trails that are just far from, you know, outposts, maybe other players in multiplayer, and just run the trails. These trails look good, very good. Because, you know, as you're running, you'll be able to spot way up ahead of you. You could spot up here and to the right. And I like those random, you know, patches of nothingness. You know, there's rocks and whatnot, but there's not very many trees. Places where it kind of thins out, I guess I should say. This is, like, something that would have been so nice in New England mountains. And yes, there is places like that. But I hope that we see a lot of places like that with Tourneschine. You got a thicker part here with the woodcock there. Got to see the new wild boar remodel for a second, and what looks to be, even in this really, really thick part, you could still see out there pretty dang good, man. Kind of pausing it here. This looks extremely thick, and then it's right back to the castle. So I'm kind of skip over that. That's the new outpost thing there. Get to see some waterfowl here. I think that's the Eurasian teal. Then we get to see some nighttime clips. Very, very wide open. The underwater shot there, the mink. And then we get to see this. Fallow deer on the side of a hill. Look how high up this hill is, though. There's nothing better than that, man. There's nothing better than it. They're probably on their way to their drink time down there. It looks like it's very early in the morning. They're probably traveling from either their rest or feed time down to the lake. If we can kind of make out, I think that's a little river there, and then it comes out into this big old lake here. So another shot of a huge lake. These lakes are probably going to be huge in this map. We got another one of those areas, like I was saying, really, really similar to Cinder Baton. Shoot, this almost looks like Cinder Baton. Right outside of some dense forestry. You can see it's wide open over there, gets thick, and then it's wide open once again. We're probably going to see patterns like that over and over and over again. It's wide open up here. That's something I really, really like about Cinder Baton because, you know, if you do spook animals in the thick part, chances are if you push them out in front of you, you're going to see it in the wide open part. And then here we go again, man. Got another shot of a lake. Even though there is some trees on this side here, if you were to turn to the right and circle around that way, that is a really good looking lake. Yeah, there's a couple trees over there, but chances are you're gonna spot any animals on this whole side of the lake. And by the time that you make it to about right there, you'll be able to see this side of the lake without spooking anything. These lakes look like they're set up very good. Once again, another shot of the beautiful red deer remodel. This lake looks way thicker though. Yeah, this is a lake we haven't seen yet. We've seen this castle thing, but not a faraway shot of this lake. What do we got walking back there? That looks like either a roe deer or a fallow deer. I'm kind of showing the roe deer a lot. Maybe we're getting a roe deer great one. And then we got the last shot here with the logo and extremely wide open plains. This is going to be insane, man. Well, that's it, guys. Full deep dive on Tourmaline. Now I'm going to kind of quickly share my honest opinion with the species list. Now, as I said in my video the other day, if we're not going to get new red deer great one furs, then the great one's going to have to be really good for me to be satisfied with the species list on this map. The new great one, I mean. Because we're only getting 5 new species, one of which is kind of just a remodel to the willow ptarmigan. It's a red grouse. They're very similar looking. The roe deer, the wild boar, and the red deer are also getting remodels, which yes, takes a very long time, which kind of excuses them from only putting 5 new species on this map, because those take a long time, man. The red deer remodels are incredible. That probably took 1,000 hours as it is. No exaggeration. Yeah, they got a team of people, but still, they had to develop this whole dang map. If they give us new red deer great one furs, then I'm gonna be satisfied. I'll be satisfied with this update. But if we don't get new red deer great one furs, with the amount that they've been hinting at the new red deer, then I will be genuinely disappointed in this update. Unless it's like a feral goat great one with 20 furs or something. You know, 5 new species, a mink great one, and no new red deer great one furs, and just the general remodel would disappoint me. But I have a whole nother video on that, just kind of talking about it. That's actually my video from Friday. Make sure you guys go check that out. As for right now, judging by the trailer, this map has a ton of potential to be the best map in the Hunter Call of the Wild, period. I don't know about grinding, the lakes look really big, but just for running and gunning, which is something that unfortunately not a lot of people do anymore, this map has tons of potential. And judging by the trailer, I'd put it in the top 5 for sure, but I need to log a few 100 hours on the map before I can make my honest rating. As I mentioned, I'll definitely make a ranking video in the future once I have more experience with the map. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching. If you're new here, join the Squid Gang. Hit that subscribe button down below. Join the Discord server. Everybody that joins says we have the best Call of the Wild community on the internet, and I believe it. I'm so consistent in my Discord. I'm pretty much in there 24/7. In fact, it's open on my right monitor right now. I voice chat in there pretty much every single night with my mods, some friends. It's extremely helpful. We have hotspot maps, extremely inclusive. The live streams are hilarious. Tune in most days at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, my name is Squid. You're watching Squidster Outdoors, and we'll catch you guys in the next banger. Peace out, my gamers.